Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I have another fun fold card idea that I want to share with you, and this time I'm going to feature it in a masculine style. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have a Dutch door fun fold card idea that I want to share with you, and I'm going to show you how to create it in two different ways. Now, the cards in this video feature a fun new bundle called He's All That, which has a stamp set and a die set that coordinates, of course, with the stamp set. And I will also be using a variety of pattern papers from the He's All That Designer Series paper pack. And this particular paper pack has some fun little elements in it that you can use to decorate your cards. So let me show you how to make these cards. Okay, so to create this fun fold design, you're going to start with a piece of cardstock, which is cut at 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to score it right down the center at 4.25 inches. Then you're going to take your cardstock and you're going to turn it so that the 5.5 inch side is towards the top. And then you're going to line it up on the 2 3/4 inch mark. And we're just going to cut from the edge of the cardstock down to our score line. So once you make this cut, then you can just turn your card, and we're going to cut directly down on the score line to this point here. So we're basically going to be cutting this little section off. Okay, so this is what your piece will look like. So you'll have this little 2 3/4 by 4.25 inch section here. And then this will be the base of your card. So we're basically just going to fold on this score line. And this is how we create that Dutch door. So we just have a fun little Dutch door fold here on the bottom. And then the cool thing about this card is this piece is going to get adhered right over the top. So we'll have it this fun little Dutch door with a great little focal point on the front of our card. So let's go ahead and decorate it, and you'll see how it all comes together. So the first card idea I have to share just features this Dutch door fold in portrait style. So I'm going to show you how to decorate this. And you can decorate it with any pattern papers that you have on hand. I'm just using the more masculine themed papers. So you're going to want to cut 4 pieces of designer papers. So 2 different patterns. So 2 of like the car pattern here and 2 of this other pattern. And these pieces are 2.5 by 4 inches. So I'm going to start by decorating this little Dutch door flap here. So I'm going to take this first piece of paper and I'm just going to adhere it to this little flap. And then this other piece, this leftover piece this is the piece we cut out of this section of our card. I'm just going to take this other pattern, this 2.5 by 4 inch piece, and I'm just going to adhere it to this. And I'm actually going to adhere one on the front and then one on the back of this piece. So we'll just flip it over and we'll use the same size piece of paper and we're just adhering it to the back. All right, so we'll set this piece aside for the moment. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up my card. And on the inside section here, I'm just going to take a different pattern paper. So all these papers coordinate together, all the colors coordinate together. They're just different patterns. And you can decorate this however you want, but this is just a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of this Cajun Craze color. So I'm going to just add that to my card base here. And then I'm going to take that other 2.5 by 4 inch piece of the kind of the classic car pattern, and I'm going to adhere this on the inside flap. So that's going to go over on this side. And then I'm just going to take a 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch piece of cardstock and just adhere it on the inside of the card. So I'm going to do this first. So this is just Sahara sand. It's the same cardstock color that I used for the base of my card. So this will just give me something to write on the inside of my card. All right, so now we can close the little Dutch door flap. And then this piece will get adhered right over the top. So the reason I adhered this piece first is it'll just make it a lot easier to line up this front piece so that it covers up that inside piece. So you have two ways of doing this. You can just adhere this bottom part down using a little bit of liquid glue, or you can add some dimensionals. So I'll just use a little bit of liquid glue, and then I'll show you what it looks like with the dimensionals. So you only want the liquid glue on the bottom part of this particular piece. And then you just want to line this up so that it covers that inside piece. All right, so here is the sample card. So you can see I popped this one up. It has a little bit of depth and dimension underneath there. And then this one I just adhered flat to this little flap. So either way is fine, whichever you prefer. So now we'll just go ahead and finish decorating it. So in this particular pack of paper, there's a variety of different little elements that you can use to decorate your cards. So I have these little elements that I'm going to add. So I'm just going to add one element up here, and then I'll add the other one down on the bottom. And then I just stamped one of the images from the set on a scrap piece of white cardstock, and I used one of the dies from this particular set to cut out this image. So this is just going to go right in the center. And then the last thing that I did is I just added some of these little rustic embellishments. And that's it. So now we have a fun little Dutch door, and you have plenty of space to write a message, and you can see the reason why you put the designer paper on the front and back of this piece is because then it gives you just a nice decoration for the inside of your card. So it's a lot of fun, and it's very simple to do, and there's no waste in creating this card. Okay, and the second way that you can use this Dutch door fun fold design is in landscape style. So it's the exact same measurements. You cut your paper the exact same way. The only difference is instead of decorating it in portrait style, I decorated everything in landscape style. So it gives you just another fun way to use this design. So here's what the cards look like side by side. So you have your portrait style, and then you have your landscape style. But like as I said, they're the exact same design, the exact same measurements. The only difference is how I decorated the card. Okay, so there you go. Now you have two different ways that you can use this Dutch door fun fold card idea in your card making. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.